Hello, my name is Linda McAnany, and welcome to my show. My guests today are from the Missouri River Regional Library here in Jefferson City. Claudia Cook is the director, and Natalie Newville is the marketing manager. So ladies, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Well, it's going to be fun because, you know, I have been blown away by the difference in libraries over the last, well, number of years. I was telling them earlier, I put myself through college working at a public library, and it was very traditional. Libraries now have wonderful services, not only reading, but all kinds of services. So we're going to talk about some of that today. First of all, I'd like our audience to get to know you. Claudia, tell us about yourself.
Okay, I came straight from library school, Linda. I went to the University of Missouri Columbia Library School. I came straight to Missouri River Regional Library, fresh out of school. But prior to that, I grew up in Jacksonville, Illinois, and I got my start at Jacksonville Public Library. So I was actually an education major working in a public library, and after just a really short time, I went into the director and said, "How do you do this?" And I finished my, I didn't even get my teaching degree. I changed my major and decided I was going to go to library school.
That's great.
So ended up in Columbia, then got the job at Missouri River Regional Library, and I have been with Missouri River Regional Library for 23 years.
And she doesn't look like she's old enough to be with the library for 23 years.
Thank you, Linda. I think you might be my new favorite person.
Natalie, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I have a 5-year-old, and my husband and I are both marketers. So I always joke that I am not a librarian. It's a very common misconception that everybody who works at a library is a librarian, and that is not the case. So I do the marketing for both our branch here in Jefferson City, our branch in Osage County, and our bookmobile. And I'm originally from Sedalia, and we've lived here for about 5 years now.
So that's what drew you to the library, is just the opportunities.
Absolutely. I have always loved to read, and libraries have always been a place that I have enjoyed being at. So when the position came open, it was a very good fit.
That's great.
And
That's
she's
great.
really helped us raise the profile of the library in a terrific way.
And she told me that the other day when Natalie was not around.
That's right.
She said,
Thank you, Linda.
No, she did. The library has 2 locations.
That's
one
right.
in downtown Jefferson City, which I hope all of you have an opportunity to go if you don't go already, and another location in Osage County.
That's right.
Where is that location, by
It's
the way?
in Lynn, Missouri.
Okay.
And currently it is right on the main drag on 50, and it's behind Lynn.
Lynn Printing.
Lynn
It used to
Printing,
be.
that's right.
It used to be the Dollar General store.
Yes.
So we were behind Dollar General, but right now we're behind Lynn Printing. And we have just purchased a new building. It's really exciting. We signed the paperwork last week, and we'll be moving east of Lynn near the schools and the technical college. And it's formerly the Deutschheim store.
Okay.
It kind of looks like a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Good.
And that's
Good.
where we're going to be. We're doubling our space.
So
we
you
have
will just have one location, but it'll be a new location.
Yes, and
That's
much,
great.
much bigger with a lot of opportunity.
That's wonderful. You know, that's one thing I think all locations, especially library locations, lack, and that's enough space, because you always have so many things going on.
That's super true, and I think especially a lot of people don't understand, in order for us to get new books, the new releases, the new things that are happening, we have to make space for that. So we have to get rid of old things. And so, you know, you hear a lot of libraries, and we say, you know, we don't have room. And it's not just books, which books is a big thing, but it's the room for the programming and the activities and the community meetings and all of that kind of stuff.
And we want to talk about some of those. You know, as we said earlier, there was a time where a library was just a location to go check out books or read articles or whatever, but that's no longer the case. Tell us about some of the, I'd love you to tell us about all the services,
Sure.
but there's so many. But tell us about some of the other library services that you all offer.
Programming has probably, in my 23 years in the library, has been the biggest change. When I came there, we did very limited programming. That just wasn't what libraries were doing. And so that continuing education component that is so important to public libraries is what I think we're really doing a great job of with those classes that you're talking about, with those one-on-one sessions, with an IT professional that can help you work with your iPhone or learn some gadget that you want to know about. And the literacy programs for children, the teen events, all the great adult programs that we have focusing on history, on books, on you name it. Yeah. There's just a lot of things that we do that help further a person's education.
Well, and I made a note of a couple of them after going over to the library and also reading some of their materials. Computer training.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's so important, particularly for, I hate to say this, but for the older generation.
And that's why we have those one-on-one sessions that I mentioned a minute ago. We've learned that that's really one of the best ways that a person can learn something is for somebody to sit down and work with them.
Sure.
And we still have classes for a group, but those sessions with 3 of our IT professionals have really taken off. And when I go and talk to people, you can just see faces light up saying, somebody at your library will sit down and work with me.
And they can ask questions of them.
Absolutely, and bring the device in. So we see that a lot, after the holidays, because someone will get, a parent or grandparent a new phone or a new computer, and they don't know how to use them, and so they get to bring the device in, sit down with them, and they walk them through the steps. So it's really successful, and we think it's such a great thing to offer to our community.
Absolutely. I didn't realize that you could register to vote at the library.
Yes, and that is a service that we've always had. But people may not realize it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. And of course, we're going to talk later or more extensive about the bookmobile, but that's wonderful too because it goes out into the community.
That's right.
Okay, a new homebound delivery expansion.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I will tell you about that because that's something that's really near and dear to my heart, Linda. We have always had homebound delivery, but we have never advertised it. And the reason we've never advertised it is because we didn't feel like we could meet the demand if we advertised it properly. And I tell you, if you give this one something to advertise, she does it.
She knows how to do it,
and she does it well, and we're off and running. So I waited until we had a friends group established. And we've had a variety of friends groups over the years, but we have an active friends group that's dedicated to volunteerism and advocacy for the library. Not raising money, that's what our foundation does. Right. But this friends group helps us. And so after about 2 years, and I felt that they were fairly established, I asked them if they might be willing to take on helping us with homebound delivery. And they were, and I was glad to hear this. And so working with our outreach department, who does deliver things already, but to a very, very limited. Yes, right. Yes, thank you. Very limited number of people, and worked with them, got some training together, and right now we have 8 volunteers who are willing to take books to people.
Okay, now, so how does this work? They literally, you are contacted by the customer.
That's right.
And then you hook up the material with the volunteer who delivers it to the home.
Yes.
Now, and are these rest homes, are they personal homes? How does it, generally, what do you see?
Well, a variety of things.
Okay.
Because the bookmobile does go to
locations,
various locations, and going to
that.
retirement centers,
sure.
And they're doing a lot of that already. But we're hoping to help people who maybe have lost their driver's license, they don't drive anymore, maybe they've had a surgery and can't get out. It could be a temporary situation,
sure.
Could be a permanent situation, but for whatever reason, they cannot get to the library. And I can't even imagine that. That's to me the worst possible thing that could happen.
But what a nice service, because when you stop and think, we may be accustomed to seeing groceries delivered and certain things, but the wonderful service of having knowledge, material, whatever delivered. That's great. And so the Friends of the Library, that's one of their duties, and you would certainly, I would encourage you all, if you're interested in doing some volunteering, please consider. Give Natalie or Claudia a call and say, what are my opportunities? Because we can always use more volunteers in every bit of the location. Right. So,
and they get to help pick out some of the books. The forms filled out, and people share with us their favorite authors or subjects they're interested in, and so the volunteer takes that brochure and gets to do some of the fun shopping.
Yeah.
So they're personal book shopper.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about all the services and opportunities that you can have at your local library. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ash Schulte with Dreams to Reality. Dreams to Reality is a not-for-profit agency in Jefferson City serving women across mid-Missouri. Our mission is to help low-income women meet their employment goals and build self-confidence by providing appropriate interview and business apparel, motivation, and follow-up support. We serve clients referred to us by many local agencies, and all services are free of charge. Not only do we provide appropriate interview and work attire for women seeking and retaining employment, but we also provide a more comprehensive personal image consultation to ensure clients are ready and confident as they strive to meet their employment goals. Dreams to Reality helps women enhance their potential to be gainfully employed and achieve self-sufficiency to support themselves and their families. For more information about our services or to see how you can support our mission, visit our website or like us on Facebook. Dreams to Reality is proud to be a United Way partner agency.
HILC In-Home Care provides personal care attendant services to qualified disabled and elderly residents of Cole and Osage counties. These services make it possible for many people to continue to live independently in their own homes. For more information on HILC's Medicaid, respite, youth, private pay, and private insurance programs, call HILC In-Home Care toll-free at 1-866-231-6652.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. My guests today are from the Missouri River Regional Library here in Jefferson City, and also Lynn. And Claudia Cook is the director, and Natalie Newville is the marketing manager. And by the way, before we get too far going with our discussion, I encourage you all, if you don't have a library card, you can, it's very easy to get. In fact, you can even do it online, I think you said.
That's something new.
And I had a library card for years, and I updated it this week, and I'm telling you, I'm ready. But I encourage you to at least expose yourself to all the things that the library offers. So ladies, thanks again for joining us. Okay, we've talked about some of the programs, but you've got programs for every ages.
We do.
Talk about some of the most popular.
We have 50 to 60 programs a month.
Wow.
So there's really something for everyone, and it's for all ages. So from 0 to as old as you want to be.
As you can be. As you can
be. And so some of the ones we have that are kind of unique and not necessarily something people would think about. Like we have music in the library.
Yes.
So on April 23rd, we have a Music in the Library event, which should be a lot of fun. And it's literally a mini concert in the library that's free. So it's a lot of fun.
Is that on the second floor?
Yes, up in the art gallery on the
Okay.
second floor. We obviously have traditional programming like book clubs. What I think is unique about that, though, is that we have book clubs for, again, all ages. So 3rd to 5th graders, 6 to 8, 9 to 12, and then adults. So a great opportunity if you have a young reader who is really just trying to get into this. It's a great way to kind of put them in there.
And put them in touch with the library as well.
Absolutely.
Right. We have movie nights. We have a really popular genealogy program, Ancestry.com, and so they meet every week and have a fabulous volunteer. And they've just really taken off. They've added classes, and I think just this past couple months they have one-on-one sessions now with this genealogy volunteer.
That's very interesting. You know, I need to learn more about that, because you know we all have a way of looking forward, but we also enjoy looking back. And that's a wonderful service.
It is, and we just bring a lot of people into the library with that program.
Sure. And by the way, we mentioned earlier, or if we didn't, I was remiss. The schedule of what's going on at the library is available in the library, but it's also available online, is it not?
It is.
Absolutely.
And, this is a good time to talk about. If you have questions about the library, you can pick up the phone and call 573-634-6064, or you can visit www.mrri.org, or they also have a Facebook page. And so
Linda, that's mrrl.org.
Let's do this again. Thank you. I can't read my own writing here.
That's
it's
okay.
www.mrrl.org.
L for library.
There we go. I love this. You know, I love it when they know and I misread. So, thank you. Okay, we want to talk more about the events, but let's get down to some of the logistics too. How's the library funded?
The library is funded with your tax dollars. So tax dollars at work. The library is truly the community's. We are an independent political subdivision, and we're funded by property taxes.
Okay, very good. So this is another opportunity to get some feedback from your tax dollars. Okay, and you recently had a book sale, and this is an annual event, and I will tell you, it's fun. But tell us about the book sale.
It's loved.
Yeah, so the book sale is a partnership with ABLE, so the Learning Center that's here in town. And this was our 22nd annual book sale this past March. So basically people donate books year-round to the library. Our ABLE volunteers sort them, so they go through and determine what section it goes in, or if it's something we can sell or not sell. And then the week of the book sale, we load about 100,000 to 150,000 books out to St. Martin's, and it's amazing. If you haven't been, it's worth it to come just to see it.
Oh, absolutely.
I would encourage anyone to go look at our Facebook page, because we have some fun videos of us like setting up, and we sped it up to under a minute. It took much longer than that.
I can imagine. 100,000 books, I can imagine.
It is a process, and we're very lucky because we have a lot of people that have been doing it for a long time. So it's very much, it's an art now. It's
got it down.
Very streamlined. But the things that you can find are amazing. So not only like old editions or signed books, but a lot of us find stuff from our childhood. We're like, oh, I love this book. I didn't know it's not even in print anymore.
Yes.
Or we get collections for our kids. So it is a great opportunity. The prices are great. And we take donations. So if people have donations and they want to get rid of books in their home, they can stop by and bring them into the library anytime we're open.
For
Any time of the year, by the way, you can donate books to this sale.
That's
Absolutely.
right. For a reader, it's just heaven.
It really is. I know I went out, I didn't make it out this year, but I've gone out because I'm a big World War II buff. My husband is a World War II man and a Pearl Harbor survivor, and I love things about World War II. And I found some wonderful volumes. So keep it in mind, not only now, but next year when it rolls around, and it's usually in March. National Library Week is coming up.
It's coming up.
Yes.
We celebrate.
And is there any special celebrations, or do you just continue the celebrations you have?
Well, pretty much. We are busy all the time, and so that week isn't any different. But it is different in some ways, but we have the same level of programming that we do most other weeks. We do celebrate National Bookmobile Day on Wednesday, April 10th. So we usually have the bookmobile in front of the library. So if
Tell us a little more about the bookmobile, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but
that's
I think That's a wonderful service.
It's a pretty neat service, and we've had it for a very, very long time. Now, we've brought it to you in different vehicles, and right now we have a 40-foot bookmobile. So when you see it on the road, it's pretty good size. It's very colorful, and it's a really neat thing to tour. So if you've not ever been on the bookmobile, stop by on April 10th and take a look.
Okay, and it will be at the library.
It will be.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're so thankful. Shepherd's International Trucking sponsors our bookmobile, which is wonderful because they are able to, if it breaks down or if it needs some maintenance, they take care of it for us. So we're very thankful to them for offering that into the community.
That is a wonderful service because, you know, if you were to have to handle that yourselves, and I'm talking about you,
we have. It's very expensive.
It's expensive and also time-consuming.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's, you know, because we do go out into the community in areas of Cole and Osage County that don't have a branch, when the bookmobile is down and misses a regularly scheduled stop, it hurts those patrons, you know, those community members. They're very upset, as any of us would be, because they love being able to go on. And if you have kids or grandkids, make time to go. You know, during the summer, we stop at parks, various parks throughout the entire summer. And it's awesome to just go. It's air conditioned for one, which is nice. There's a little bit of seating. You can go on. It has books, it has movies and magazines and all kinds of things that you can check out.
Just a miniature version of our
the
library.
library.
Yes, and it started out as a very rural service, and as Natalie mentioned, we use it around town, and we go to a lot of literacy nights at schools. The schools call us a lot, want it to come. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned something that I think we might want to touch on as well, and that's you not only have books, but you have...
We have ebooks and
I wasn't
e-audio.
sure
That's
exactly
right.
what
We
I
have
should call
digital
them.
services. I know that term changes, and I always like to say that the library really is open to you 24/7. It's available to you 24/7. That wasn't the case when I started. So if our doors are closed, you can access our digital offerings, and I mean ebooks, I mean downloadable audio. There are a lot of databases. You can learn a language from home with Pronunciator.
Wow.
You can take a class with lynda.com. You can study for your GED with, is it LearnAtest?
Yep. Learning Express.
Learning Express, that name's changed as well. There are even more databases that you can use from home, including Chilton's, which will help you fix your car or truck.
Well, and by the way, you can do all of this with just your library card. So it's not only making a trip or visiting the bookmobile, but you can do it online as well. So that's exciting.
Yeah, there's so many people that use, especially with audiobooks and people that are my age, that talk about how they love their subscription services because it's right on their phone. You know, sometimes I think when we talk about audiobooks, we still think of like books on tape or books on CD, where I still have to go get that physical item. But with our resources, it's on your phone. It's an app, and so it's a great way to stream, to read. You know, I'm a digitarian. That's the only way I read.
I can imagine. And you know, that's something you reminded me, and we're going to run out of time here, but you reminded me because when I used to run, I walk now, but when I used to run, that's what I used to do is
absolutely.
listen. So,
And it will save you money. The library can save you money.
absolutely. And expose you to so many things.
That's
so,
right.
Again, if you have questions about the local library, call 634-6064, or you can visit www.mrrl.org or check out the Facebook page. Ladies, thanks so much for joining me. I knew we had so much to talk about. They still have other things going on, okay? So
We can come back and talk more.
That's what we'll do.
Perfect.
We'll have
Okay.
you back again. So
Okay.
look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, you will be back with us, and we wish you a good night and a God bless.